All right, YouTube, we are live. I'm back again. You're gonna hear a little background noise. Leaving work. I got the AC going, blasting. It's hot, so bear with me. Try to turn it down a little bit for y'all. Get the airflow going. All right, it's Zulu Gullah. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Um, Apologize. I got tied up. I tried to do the stream twice up until now, but I got tied up. We back though. Um, Getting right into it. So Carol Anderson, um, she recently done a segment, an interview, talking about the real meaning behind the Second Amendment, how it was made specifically for Black people, for white people of the past to be able to defend themselves against Black people, um, if we ever decided to fight a particular type of way, in which we already had done that. Um, in the description, I told y'all the meaning behind Gullah, of course, stands for Gullah Geechee. It was the Gullah Geechee army that, particularly one president that had to deal with the most was Andrew Jackson. Everybody think the Civil War was fought between whites and some blacks, particularly free blacks, but the war was already being fought. You had a combination of slaves who decided to free themselves and revolted, and they also sided with the Indians. So it was a combination of blacks and Indians um, that formed communities in a particular army that mainly resided in the Southeast, in the Floridas, in the Carolinas, in the Alabama area, a little bit further, to Louisiana Territory. So they've been dealing with that for a long time prior to the Civil War. Um, I want y'all to know that. So that's where Gullah comes from. It's basically a historical black and Indian army that fought before the Civil War, that fought against the U.S. government and slave owners. All right. So her explaining the Second Amendment from that aspect of white men always want to be prepared to arm themselves against blacks, codified into that, comes from that. It doesn't come from blacks being evil or blacks wanting to take over the country and just kill or do anything um, for no reason at all. They made it out to be like that was the danger, but really what it was blacks were already fighting slavery long before the Civil War. All right. Now, here's the biggest secret, and I want y'all to listen closely. Here's the biggest secret, right? When you look at the Constitution and you relate it to the events that took place in this country, you can see what I mean by the word codified. Codified means hidden. It also means code, which is the root word. And y'all know terms like speaking in code, which is hidden, a hidden meaning. It's a lingo or a language only known to those who are associated with what's being spoken, right? So when you get into the Constitution and you look at the amendments where it says that slavery is abolished unless you get convicted of a crime, felony, an offense, punishable, and so forth, you see that the idea of slavery, the craving for it, the hunger to enslave somebody never left these people, right? So there's a connection. You outlaw slavery on one hand, but you legalize it in another aspect, right? Now, which is ridiculous because what does slavery have to do with criminal? Slavery shouldn't even be a part of the wording of the Constitution because criminal is criminal, period. So that's what I want y'all to understand, okay? White men and other men, whether they were black or any other race, nationality, or color, who participated in slavery ownership, it never left their mindset, their mentalities. It's always been here. It's been codified. And it's been codified in many different ways. That's just one example. Over the course of time, it's been codified in employment law, corporate law. Um, they talked about redlining. You know, in in general, now the average person, regardless of nationality, color, or race, goes to work every day for slave wages. You never make enough to actually make an impact in your life unless you achieve certain things for yourself as an entrepreneur or ownership for yourself. And it's very few uh, occupational positions, corporate positions that yield big returns, on average, right? Further making the connection, using the word codified, understanding what's written in law, what's hidden in law, is now you understand getting back to the Second Amendment and then the other amendments like dealing with double jeopardy and stuff like that. Um, those things show you how, of course, again, quoting, the only way to legalize slavery, to legal slavery, is through crime and punishment. Those things show you how they want to prevent as many black people as possible from ever being totally free. Because those original amendments and laws surrounding those amendments that progress up till today, you ever wonder why they don't want a convicted felon to have uh, firearm rights, voting rights, things like that? Really, you take the word felon away and you replace it with black people. Felon is a codified word within itself. Um, I told y'all about the FBI report more than once where law enforcement was infiltrated and the government was infiltrated by the KKK. Well, if they're in the government, they can get in and influence legislation. Okay? They remember when you had the Gullah Geechee army that was constantly fighting, freeing black people and also on the behalf of Native Americans. They never forgot that, right? They know the threat you can be when you decide to fight for your freedom in a just cause. But they don't care about if you're fighting for your freedom in a just cause. They want power. If they can enslave you or oppress you, they will do it. Now, they'll do it in different ways now. They won't straight up hang you or lynch you. You know, you have isolated incidents like police brutality and stuff like that, but they still have ways of, if they can get you in that courtroom and convict you, they can enslave you that way. They can make you a second rate citizen, and they take gun rights atrociously for just about crimes that don't even constitute that type of punishment and loss of liberty. This is why I talk about double jeopardy. This is where I talk about using things against you more than once when you've already served and discharged from the sentence or the punishment. You already satisfied the debt, right? You also have like organizations or federal departments that's supposed to uh, grant you access to after you satisfying the debt, being restored to certain things like the right to vote, the right to bear arms. You have a special task force under the DA administration that's supposed to grant you your rights back, but they say they never have any funding. So they use certain technicalities to prevent them doing their functions that would benefit, uh, helping people get their lives back together. But crime and punishment, felonies and restriction from felonies, gun rights, all that stuff. What this lady is talking about, this is another aspect of it. There was a U.S. senator in the '80s. You can find out who he is if you ever look at the different hidden color documentaries. They give a video segment of him talking about how you could codify and hide how to target certain groups through legislation. How you can't outright say anything racial or anything in violation of the equal protection requirements, referring to race, age, nationality, disability, things like that. But you can codify it and look at the characteristics and uh, areas, demographics, and you can make legislation that can target them. And he was just happy, rolling his hands, and really instructing, you know, particularly white people, how to go about it. So I want y'all to know that, like, and this has been going on for a while. People, me personally, like, is racism the way it was of the past? No. But is it present? Yes. Uh, I told people it's even more dangerous because it's stealth and seems non-existent, but it exists in certain areas in certain ways, and it can be activated. Now, a lot of it is you can make choices and decisions for yourself, um, and don't let traps be set for you. But if you know the science behind hidden codes, you will understand what I'm telling you, and you will understand what she's telling you. So check her out, listen to it. It's going to be a little bit different from what I'm telling you because I'm giving you some real technical stuff. But other than that, I'm going to get out of here. I was able to get the stream done for you. Again, apologize earlier. If you have any questions or whatever, just, put them in the comments. I'll respond. Y'all got my email. My email's there. So, it's active. So, let me know. But other than that, like, share, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, Zulu Gullah. I'll check you out later.